And welcome to another episode of the Football Smack Talk Show. I'm your host, Ryan.
I'm Eric.
Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of the show. It's Monday night. We got a Birds game in a couple of hours. Gotta love these Monday nighters, huh, Eric?
Absolutely. And, there was a time where Monday Night Football was where everybody wanted to be, and this was like the primetime matchup. Now that's really Sunday Night Football. But, I still love it. I still love when we're on national TV. I love Monday Night Football. And I'm really excited about this matchup.
Yeah, Seattle certainly has had our number here recently. But, it's an interesting season. It's 2020. It's, random. I'm hoping it's one of those anything can happen, any game, anytime kind of thing. Who knows? But real quick, though, I do want to say thank you, all of our new listeners and viewers here. You may be coming to us from Notoriety Sports Network, the Phillyverse, and our shows here, specifically Football Smack Talk Show, Mike Sports, the Philly Broadcast, are joining together with Notoriety Sports Network to expand, to kind of get together with other like shows and kind of build something from the ground up and really get our voices heard to the people, and that's kind of what we're all about. So thank you very much if you're joining us from Notoriety. Big things are coming for sure. That's definitely I'm excited. I can't wait, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really excited. This is a great partnership that we've started. I think it's just going to lead to good things for all of us.
Yeah, no doubt. So stay tuned, keep updated, and we'll see what's what. So real quick, before we get into our main topic of obviously the Birds game tonight, kind of a lot of things happened in the last hour or so. So let's do a quick recap. First, Steelers-Ravens game has once again been postponed. This time, Wednesday Night Football. Eric, do you remember ever watching football on a Wednesday?
I mean, I've watched college football on a Wednesday night.
Not professional, though, right?
No NFL games that I know have ever been played on a Wednesday.
Right. So first to our memory, anyway, at least in our lifetime, of watching an NFL game on a Wednesday night. So that'll be certainly interesting. And because of that, they're now pushing games around and mixing the schedule up. And now we're going to have a triple header on Monday night. I don't know about you, but that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that really sounds like him calling out Tuesday.
Yeah. Pittsburgh and Baltimore, their games are now joining up on Monday night. I believe the other matchup is San Fran. I think, again, they're having some issues now with their home games.
Right. They have to play in Arizona now.
Right. So a lot of weird random things going on. So just kind of.
I think Red Zone should be put on for that game so that they could just hover around the three games.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. I wonder how the TV will be going, if they're going to try and schedule it for back to back or on multiple networks. So, okay. Well, now that's certainly something I got to look into. What's going on? What's up? Chalmers says, can Mills really cover DK?
No,
he can't.
Absolutely.
Sorry for a simple, quick answer there.
Yeah.
Sorry. So a lot of shuffling going on with the games.
And I would hope actually Darius Slay would get that assignment.
I would. Well, that's the thing. Lockett or DK, I feel like
it's kind of pick your poison.
Right. I mean, if you honestly, as someone who has DK in their fantasy league, I'm hoping he locks down Lockett because I'm going against him too. But anyway, I digress. Next news just came out. Will Fuller, the 17th, or whatever he's going by now.
The 47th, I believe.
Right. He has just been suspended 6 games for PEDs after the monster blowout on Thanksgiving Day, which I'm sure helped secure many of fantasy victories. He's out 6 games, just like that. Very random and just kind of coming out of nowhere, honestly.
Yeah, when I first read that, I was like, no, you mean he's just out for COVID, right? Like,
right.
That's all anybody misses games for now.
No, so you have that craziness, and now to some Eagles craziness. There have been multiple reports out there that have been saying and talking about Lurie getting very involved in this team, and he's been here since what, 94?
94. Yeah.
94. He's been a pretty kind of hands-off guy. He's not been your Jerry Jones, your Daniel Snyder, or I was going to say every other team in the NFC East, but he's been pretty hands-off and kind of lets guys do what they do. And now there are reports coming out saying that Lurie is talking to the coaches. He's fed up. He missed a game because he was so frustrated, and now he's saying if Wentz struggles, he is giving strict instructions to put in Hurts. What are your thoughts?
Well, first off, as far as Jeffrey Lurie missing the game in Cleveland, I mean, if you had a choice to not go to Cleveland, wouldn't you choose to stay home? But I digress. I really don't buy into it. It doesn't sound like a Jeffrey Lurie thing. Like, I could see him saying things like, guys, got to shake something up. You got to do something different. You don't want to become the definition of insanity here.
Right.
Now, whether that means to play Jalen Hurts for a half if Carson struggles in the first half, whether that means use more of the trick plays and maybe throw some in there where he's just there to straight drop back and pass. That could be the case too. We really don't know. Also the reports that I know you were probably about to bring up that Jalen Hurts had been taking snaps with the first team, which again, not unusual for Jalen Hurts this year because they've done that a lot because he runs these gadget plays. Well, he runs them with the first team. So that means you would have to have him out there practicing with that first team.
Right. And I think, the media right now is, I feel like they're kind of.
They're salivating over.
Right. I mean, obviously this is, great things to be discussing. And I feel like they're making a lot more of a deal about this than it really is. They're making it sound like Jalen Hurts was, taking most of all the reps in a practice and sitting with the scout team. Like, that's obviously not what's happening. But with the way Carson Wentz has been struggling and the offense and the O-line being in shambles, Lane Johnson, his ankle, he said his ankle collapsed.
Yeah,
I don't know about
apparently he's got to have ankle surgery.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
It sounds really awful.
That might be the worst thing you can. Oh yeah, just an ankle collapse. Don't worry about it.
Like that sounds terrible. Like,
right, and painful. So he's out. Mailata's back at left tackle. They finally kicked Peters out. He's going to right guard. But now he's got a toe injury. From the last I heard, I don't know if it's officially broken, but he's got a big toe injury. Pryor's starting on the right tackle. I mean, this feels just like a game of musical chairs with the offensive line.
Their 11th or 12th different. 11th different.
And now they're trying to push Jalen Hurts. And fans and people out there are Hurts. Let's put in Hurts. Like, do you really think Hurts is going to do any better? He doesn't know how to read defenses properly. He's still learning the playbook. He's really thrown one legit pass in the NFL.
Right.
Or one completion. And you're going to want to put him out there with an offensive line that hasn't been doing the greatest at protecting. They've been doing an admirable job, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. Carson Wentz certainly still has an issue with getting rid of the ball. But I just feel like you're just throwing him to the wolves here, and you might ruin the kid.
Well, look, one of the problems that most quarterbacks have, young quarterbacks, when they start off, game moves too fast for them. Well, what happens when the game moves too fast for you? You hold on to the football trying to make the perfect read. Well, what do you think is going to happen to Jalen Hurts? He's going to hold on to the football too long, and he's going to get knocked around too. Nobody's been hit more this season than Carson Wentz. It's just a fact. Now, some of that is he's holding on to the ball too long. Some of the time, like, he doesn't know. He doesn't – I think he sees shadows out there now. He's seeing ghosts. Like, he must see, like, 15 defenders coming at him at a time. Like, there are times where I think he doesn't – when you have the same offensive line unit out there, you can expect where your guys are going to be. You don't even have to look. You know it's, 1.5 seconds in, there's no way this guy's further than X feet from me. And he knows because, Jason Peters had been blocking there for years, and he knows Jason Peters has got him probably over to this side here to the back of me. I know I probably got another second before I got to get this ball out.
Sure.
And so, like, he can anticipate those things. When you don't know, like, it's all of a sudden it's like, oh, crap, I better duck around, start moving because it's been so long. Like, and he's got to get the ball out. Or, like, for example, and I hated this. I have to go back to the Cleveland game because I darn near lost my mind yelling at Mark Schlereth for putting this out there. On the pick six against Cleveland, that, like, Kiki or whatever his name was.
Yeah, the guy picked it off.
Yeah. He Mark Schlereth very irresponsibly points out, oh, well, here's Jalen Reagor running wide open across the middle. You don't know what read that is for Carson. Like, the play was designed to be a screenplay. Yeah, everybody yelling, why don't we ever run the screen again? Well, there they were trying to run it. And he got hit as he threw, which meant he couldn't follow through. And that caused the ball to pop up there. It stinks. It happens. Like, those plays happen. Like, that's football.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We got a comment here. Gee, do you think we have a chance? Sure. Everybody's got, well, except for the Jets. Everybody's got a chance.
Every NFL team has a chance.
Right, yeah. Do I think we're going to win? Probably not. But would it completely shock me? No, because the Eagles are the typical team that plays down to their competition and then also plays up to their competition. They were right there in Baltimore. They were right there in Pittsburgh. You know, those were two, again, if they ever actually get to play, but those are two top AFC teams. And we were right there in the game towards the end. Play here, play there. Things could go differently. You don't know that. So I feel like while Seattle certainly has, great wide receivers, a really good offense, and our defense has been a little shaky, what's nice is their defense is ranked 32nd. Now, granted, they've been playing a little bit better recently, which, certainly
the thing is they create turnovers. And now they're playing the Eagles, who lead the league in turnovers.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, again, I feel like both matchups aren't great, offense versus defense. And it's going to come down to turnovers. And as, a question here, how many carries do you see Sanders getting? That's going to be real important because we know that Doug loves to get away from the run. He'll do a good job first half. Second half, he'll just pretty much ignore it. Now, if anybody's been in the Philadelphia area knows, we basically just got hit with a tornado or a hurricane or whatever monsoon. Yeah. It was torrential downpouring. So it's wet. It's rainy. What do you do in wet and rainy games? Generally,
run the football.
You do run the football. Right. So I'm hoping that Doug finally gets his head out of his you-know-what and runs the ball. Sanders is running, he's top 3.
Incredible
yards per carry. So he's at a great clip. You're right. So let's see more of it. Let him get 20 carries. Like he doesn't even get 20 carries.
In order for a chance, Miles Sanders has to at least have 20 carries tonight.
I really think so. And thank you for the Sanders question. That's a great point. Running the ball is going to be great. Now again, unfortunately, the best thing about Seattle's defense is their run defense. So I have a real bad feeling that Doug's going to, sprinkle it in as he does, but focus heavy on the pass. Carson's probably going to throw the ball 50 times in wet, rainy conditions against Now again, granted, their pass defense is absolutely last in the league, but the run defense is pretty good. So I get it. I absolutely get it. But they're really going to have to start doing the things that we've all been seeing for the last couple of weeks, rolling out Carson Wentz, doing little screen passes, doing some options, something to kind of get this offense going, and doing the things that better suited for this team.
Well, defense has got to be salivating when they see the Eagles come in figuring, okay, Carson's going to drop back 50 times, and we're going to be able to tee off and get after him. I mean, so what can you do to combat that? Run some draws, run some plays where you get him out of the pocket, run some screen plays. You've got to do something to slow down this pass rush, something to keep them honest, and also run the football.
Right.
You run the football, and then, if you run the football and you're successful at that, so much of your offense, so much of your passing game can come off of that. You can all of a sudden run play action, and teams will respect that. Like, there was a game yesterday, and I'm watching it. It was like, I think it was like second or third down around the goal line, but it was like the half was running out, and the team ran a play action. And I'm sitting there, who the hell is buying that play action? Who's doing that? You're not running the football there. All you're doing is wasting time for your quarterback, time that he could be, granted, it's a half a second, but that can be the difference between finding a guy.
That can be a huge difference. And there are plays like that throughout the offense to make your head scratch. The Jalen Hurts plays, for instance. You throw Carson Wentz out wide, he's not doing anything. So essentially, you're
playing 10 on 11.
10 on 11, and you know exactly the play that's happening.
It's it's a run to whichever direction it is. It's a run. It's maybe a handoff, or it's the quarterback keeping it. It's the option play, and so I don't understand why you do that. It's the most predictable formation you can come up with. I've never liked the gadget plays and stuff like that. I was never a fan of the Wildcat.
No. Yeah, no, I agree. Not a huge fan either. Question from NSN here. Do you see Doug using Rager to take advantage of a bad Seattle Seahawks secondary?
I think he'd like to.
Yeah, that's a tricky question. Do I see him doing it? Not really, because I feel like he hasn't been using Rager properly.
No, he definitely hasn't.
So why would I think he's going to start now? I'd love to be surprised. Please surprise me, Doug. Go for it. This is the perfect situation to try and utilize Rager and see what you have in him.
Right.
Especially everything that's going on this year with Jefferson and Claypool and Higgins and every other.
Well, wouldn't it be nice if tonight Carson Wentz and Jalen Reagor went off and had huge nights, and so people could stop talking about it. Look what Justin Jefferson's doing. Oh gosh, Carson stinks.
Right, exactly. That would be a dream scenario. Absolutely dream scenario. Another question from Jason. I think he goes for over 240, asking for a friend. I assume that's Carson. No, honestly, I don't. Because what in the last couple of games have made you think that Carson's going to sling it and be able to rack up the yards? The offense just hasn't been moving like that. I'm sorry.
Again, if this offense is going to be effective, it's going to take balance. It's going to have to be running and
and we don't see it. We don't see it. So why would we expect him to do it now against a decent run defense?
Because they'll never see it coming.
Hey, listen, you might be right. Stranger things, as I always say.
Right? That's how.
Another one from Dylan. Do we blitz 5 at any one time tonight? Well, we all know that, Jim Shorts, as everyone likes to call him, doesn't really like to blitz all that much. Eric, what do you think? 5 at one time tonight. You think it happens?
He's going to blitz some. He doesn't, there's never a game where he doesn't blitz at all.
No.
So, so I think he will. Will it be effective? Probably not.
That's kind of the other question.
Because Russell Wilson will roll himself out of the pressure, and it'll annoy the crap out of us, and he'll sling it for 15 yards down to DK Metcalf. And
right now, do you think do you think they use one of those linebackers to potentially spy? Not all the time, but do you think they use that a good deal tonight, or do you think
I think that could be Singleton's role tonight. Like he could be doing a lot of that.
I feel like Russ isn't necessarily one that there's not a lot of design runs.
No, it's all him improvising.
And yeah, I feel like he doesn't necessarily get a lot of carries, if you will, if you want to call them officially carries.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know how they're going to play it out. I think it might be wise to kind of have a half spy, if you will. Kind of somebody that's going to, in coverage, at least be in the middle, and also, hey, secondary focus is keep your eye on Russ.
Sure. I mean, usually, and even with Russell Wilson, if he's running the ball, like you defensively, you'll take that. Like you'll let him try to run the football, and because if he's throwing it, like he's usually slinging it all over the place.
Right.
So if he's feeling like he's got to take off a run, like will he get you for like 15 yards? Sure, probably.
Sure.
But will most of those be like maybe a little 3 yards and then slide?
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah, hopefully.
And you know what? You'll take that.
Yeah.
You'll take that trade over him trying to sling it down the field.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to update, the Monday night official matchups are Pittsburgh versus the football team, Baltimore versus the Cowboys, and the Bills versus San Fran. So certainly decent matchups that we care about, being that two NFC East teams are involved in the Bills, San Fran. It's the old Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah.
So
the Bills San Fran was the one that Chris Berman kept predicting every year.
Every freaking year.
He
had that in his head for like 17 years. And unfortunately, it never came. When he predicted. So for sure. But now speaking of the NFC East, right now you have the football team who beat the Dallas Cowboys. Who beat down the Dallas Cowboys.
They whooped that ass.
For real. I did not see that coming.
No, me neither. I definitely placed a wager on the Cowgirls, and at one point though, I couldn't even get mad at it. Like I was enjoying that beatdown so much where it's like, it's worth it.
Yeah. So Washington is 4-7. The Giants eke out a victory over the Joe Burrow-less Bengals.
Yeah.
Just barely. I was really hoping for a miracle there, but
yeah.
So they're 4-7. We're 3-6-1. Cowboys are 3-8. So we win. We vault back into first place by half a game.
Woo-hoo.
But if we lose,
yeah,
we're smack and dab right into third place. And it's not looking pretty. We got the toughest part of our schedule coming up.
Yeah. Got to go to Lambeau Field next Sunday.
Right. So, and we got to go against Arizona, who's playing on fire.
Yeah.
These aren't nice games to be going to. So, I feel like if there ever was a time, now I'm not saying Seattle's certainly vulnerable, but their defense is. And if their offense can even scrounge up a modicum of ability and skill and
right,
score some points, it would go a whole heck of a long way. Dealing with the comment here, this offense will be under a microscope tonight. Couldn't say that any better. That is 1,000% true. I'm intrigued for the Slay DK matchup, but even if Slay holds his own, Lockett is going nuts. See, that's what I'm afraid of.
Well, your fantasy football implications, that hurts you a lot.
Well, yeah, naturally, my money is very important to me.
Sure.
But
that may be quote of the night. My money is very important to me.
but in all seriousness, though, like, it really doesn't matter who Slay's covering. Like,
the other guy's going off.
The other guy's probably going to go off, and, Slay's going to, even if Slay holds him down for a tiny bit, that person's still going to get a little bit. Those two
he's not shutting down. Like, let's just say he gets DK. He's not shutting DK down. No. He might slow him down some.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. Others have certainly slowed him quite down for a long time, but eventually he gets hits. Alex with the comment, what if Jalen is actually good? Do you get rid of Wentz? Okay, I mean, that's a fair question. And I feel like it's been going back and forth on social media, Twitter, Facebook. There's a lot of people that are fighting for Jalen to go in there, to bench Wentz, trade Wentz. Let's trade him to the Colts. Let's trade him to San Fran, wherever. Listen, what would I rather happen? I'd rather have Carson figure himself out, get his shit together, and go ball out like in 2017. That's the ideal. That's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
But since that's not happening right now, and if Jalen does go in there, and it would be a shock to me, honestly, because looking at his college career, it wasn't all that impressive in my opinion. But listen, I don't think stranger things, as I always say, but I don't think anybody thought Lamar Jackson would be an MVP candidate in his first couple of years of the league. People were thinking he's going to be a running back.
Sure.
So, listen, it's certainly possible.
Comparing Lamar Jackson to Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson won a Heisman Trophy in Louisville.
Well,
sure. I mean, and it's not like, and Louisville's a basketball school,
Sure. But my point is, if Hurts does go in, I'm hoping that Hurts is the next coming.
I'm going to root for
whoever's in there, sure, but
in there,
do I think it's best for the football team right now? Probably not. Only because
I don't think so either.
Only because of that contract, because you're not getting rid of Wentz. Like it's just financially not a thing.
It's just not going to happen. Like,
what is it, 62-ish million under the cap, or over the cap? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to put a $34 million cap hit on top of that.
Yeah.
A dead cap hit. So you're up in the high 90s. Howie's good, but he ain't that good with the money.
Yeah, right. Look, I mean, to me, saying that you don't like Wentz, you don't like Wentz. And there are some people out there who just don't like him.
Here says it everything. Contract keeps him here at least until through next year. Absolutely. Now the following year, there'll still be a hit, but it's not so grand, and it's not so crippling. And hopefully at that point, you're able to fix all of the horrible contracts that are rearing their ugly heads right now, because you're $62 million over the cap, given your deals to Peters, to Jeffrey, to all the people that you're paying for past services rather than paying what they are right now. So, if Howie's still here, Howie's got a lot to figure out with those $62 million, and I highly doubt he wants to figure out 90-some million.
So, there's just no way. Carson's going to have a chance to fix this. And I really – the people who don't like Carson Wentz, all I can say is, to say that you're an anti-Wentz fan, now all of a sudden, you're not really just not rooting for the team to succeed then. If your whole objective now as an Eagles fan is you've seen enough of Carson Wentz, you want him out of here. I understand this year's been frustrating. I've been frustrated too. I've, said several times to people that I'm sick and tired of looking like an a-hole defending him.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating. I get it, but I can't in my head basically just root for the team to fail for the next 2 years, because that's what you're asking for if you want Carson out.
Well, so I had a conversation with a mutual friend of ours. And we talked and we said, is it out of the realm of possibility now that Hurts takes over at some point? If that happens, you're basically agreeing to set your franchise back a few years.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're going off the notion that, you're going to trade. Let's just say we're going to trade Carson Wentz in the offseason, right?
Mm.
And we have 90, let's just say it nice and even, $90 million over the cap, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think they're going to get under the cap? They're going to have to get rid of every major name that's on this team.
Right. You're basically blowing it up.
It's gone.
Yeah.
Brandon Brooks, gone. Obviously, Jeffrey, Jackson, Peters, Kelsey, who knows? He may retire. He's been saying that forever. But, you're going to be without major names. And who are you going to be left with? You know what? Who are you going to be left with? Somebody like Jalen Mills. Jalen Mills is probably going to be your stud on this defense.
Yeah.
And I use that term very loosely, stud. But he's going to be the only one that has has the most ability probably, because you're going to have to get rid of everybody else. And this is assuming that you think that Hurts is the answer. I don't think that is. I don't think that he is. I think if you're trading Carson Wentz, you're probably saying, that you're hoping, in the offseason, if you're trading Carson Wentz, you're probably getting a top 5 pick.
You better.
Well, no, I'm saying in the draft. You're already drafting in the draft.
Yeah.
So maybe you're going to think about drafting a quarterback in the first round. I mean, it's not often teams get a chance to draft in the top 5.
Right.
So do you draft another quarterback?
Well, if you're trading Wentz, you have to, I think.
Well, not if you think Hurts is even remotely an answer. I think Hurts could. No, I don't even think Hurts could be a stopgap. Honestly, he's too new.
I don't either.
He's got a lot to show people. Now, granted, if we somehow get mathematically eliminated in the last 2 games or something, yeah, I'd like to see him then. See what you get. You don't have a lot to go on because of 2020, the no preseason, none of that. So you have no real true game film on him being an actual quarterback rather than being the guy.
Yeah, you have no gauge on him other than what he did in college, and that's not a real good translation to the NFL.
No, absolutely not. Dealing with another comment here. Hurts isn't the answer, but I want Wentz held accountable. Sit Wentz after his next turnover for the rest of the game. He can return the next game, but this team has zero accountability anywhere. Maybe we will wake Wentz the hell up. I mean,
look, I'm open to ideas to try to shake him up and get him going.
Think about that Baltimore game all those years ago with Donnie.
Sure, yeah, and it woke up Donovan.
It woke him up. It absolutely, and no one. I tell you, maybe I don't remember it because that was a long ass time ago at this point, but I remember there are a lot of people in the weeks leading up saying bench Donnie.
No, I didn't hear anybody.
Right.
And when he did it, I remember I was really surprised.
Right. We were all shocked.
I was taken aback, but I thought, I'm like, okay, you're holding him accountable. He wasn't playing well. And you said, look, you need to, Carson Wentz needs to figure out what makes him him. Otherwise, he's no good to us. I'm sorry.
Well, then, I agree that Wentz needs to be held accountable.
Sure.
But Doug and the coaches need to be held accountable.
Absolutely.
This is a multi-tiered relationship that needs to work in perfect harmony. And we had it for 1 year. We absolutely had it for 1 year. Reich, DiFilippo, Doug, Carson, and then eventually Nick.
Well, what I feel like what's missing in the offensive room is somebody who will stand up to Doug and say, no, Doug, because, look, does anybody really think that after that Kansas City game, the Eagles-Chiefs game where they threw the ball 50 times and everybody was screaming, why don't we run the ball? Why don't we run the ball? And then the next week they came out and ran the ball. Does anybody really think it's because the fans were calling for the run?
Yes.
Let me tell you, Doug doesn't care. He don't,
Doug was
but you know what I believe happened? And I've heard this. What Frank Reich went into Doug's office and says, look, man, you're the coach. You do what you want. But you want to win, you better run the freaking football. And I think what's missing right now is that guy that'll walk into the room and say, Doug, man, it's your team. You do what you want. But if you want to win, we got to run the football.
Yeah, I mean,
and to me, and that's always when Carson's been in his best, is when there's been balance. And, like I talked about earlier, you can build so much off of having that running game. All of a sudden, you can throw a play action play in there, and that holds up that defensive pass rush. Talk about ways of buying your quarterback time. If you would have effective running game that teams have to respect, and you turn around to play action, and they have to respect that, that's going to buy your quarterback an extra second or two. And that can be everything. That's the difference between Jalen Reagor getting open. That's the difference between Deshaun Jackson getting deep for a deep ball. Like, that's the difference between winning and losing. And that's why, for so many reasons, you have to run the ball, not just because Miles Sanders is running the ball at about 5.5 yards a carry, which you need 10 yards to get a first down. What is half of 10 yards? 5. So if you run the ball twice when he's getting you 5.5 yards to carry, you're moving the sticks before you even get the third down.
Right.
Like, this isn't rocket science. We're not curing cancer here. Like, we can figure this out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I again, this is a tough matchup for sure.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they're going to have enough to pull it out. Like some people in the comments.
They'd have to have the perfect team.
Yeah,
no turnovers, and they've got to create turnovers. You figure every team gets, what would you say? 2, 4. It's about 8 to 10 possessions a game. Figure about that. Nice round number. Let's just say 10. Okay. Every team gets 10 possessions a game. If all of a sudden you can steal a possession away from Seattle by getting a turnover and creating an extra possession for you, well, that's another chance that's another point where you don't have a chance of Russell Wilson throwing a big bomb to DK Metcalf. You don't have, him picking you apart with him being able to run and just being elusive. Like, those are all time. Now he's standing over there on the sidelines because you've created an extra possession for yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So those little things are what's going to come and make this difference. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. So, well, all right, folks, that is going to be it for us. We got to, a
lot of fun, a lot of great questions.
Yeah, you guys brought up for definitely being in the comments. Appreciate all the love and the support there. We got to go up and get ready for the game, as I'm sure all of you do as well. But honestly, a quick shout out to Notoriety Sports Network. We're, like I said in the beginning of the show, we're going to be partnering with them, everybody in the Phillyverse, just kind of sharing shows and being a part of something great. And I can't wait to kind of see what the future holds, and great things for not only the Football Smack Talk show and all of our other shows here in the Phillyverse, but at Notoriety Sports Network. So Dylan and the guys appreciate the love, the support. So we got a lot of shows coming on NSN. So if you have not already, please make sure you have gone on to their Facebook page and to the Facebook group, so you can see the network lineup of shows that are coming down the pipe pretty much every day. There's going to be multiple shows for pretty much anything that you need. So check it out. If you need more information, you can always reach out to me. I'll gladly point you in the right direction. Other than that, we will see you guys next week at our new time here at 6:00 on Monday night. And who knows, maybe we'll be going up against another football game, because there's 3 of them.
Yeah, I have a feeling we will. Maybe we have the triple box set up here.
I think I need a couple more TVs. So
yeah, right.
All right, everybody. Well, we appreciate the love, the support. What's up, Finn? Go Birds. Check us out every Monday at 6:00. Not only on our Facebook page, the Football Smack Talk Show, but the Phillyverse page and the Notoriety Sports Network. You can also follow everybody here at the Phillyverse at right here below, Philly_verse on Twitter. And then you could also check out Notoriety Sports Network on Twitter as well. So thanks, Finn. Appreciate it. You guys rock.
Appreciate it, Finn.
Yeah, I'll see you, buddy, tomorrow. So that's it for us. We will see you guys next week. Eric, anything to add before we get on out of here?
No.
All right. Keeping that streak alive. Gotta love it. So for the Football Smack Talk Show and Notoriety Sports Network, I'm Ryan.
I'm Eric. Happy football, everybody.
Go Birds. Have a good night, everybody.
Go Birds.